Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hopefully, this is all coming through relatively okay. It looks like it is. Welcome to our second changing episode. More shenanigans, more stress for me, I'm guessing, as everyone does random shit that I wasn't expecting at all. But that's why we're here. We love to see it. I am going to introduce myself first. My name is Hedge. I use he, him pronouns. And I can be found all around the internet with the username at HedgeHawkUK. I don't use a lot of it anymore. I try to be active. I'm not. But I do hang around our Discord a lot, which is where you'll normally find me. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. Hopefully, Kona isn't here at the moment, so I think they're running a bit late. Hopefully, they'll join us a little bit later on. Dee, do you want to introduce yourself?
Gladly. Hi, my name is Dee. I show up here every now and then to play tabletop games and can normally be found on most places, well, mostly Twitter and like Blue Sky as Alphabet Sauce. I'm trying to appear more online lately, bit by bit, slowly getting there. But if I'm not there, then I'm either talking about music, giant robots, or tabletop games on my YouTube channel, Plan the Stand.
Awesome. Maddie.
Yes, hello. I'm Maddie. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me across the internet at Maddie as Abstract. And you can usually find me over on the Realms of Peril and Glory actual play podcast, which is full sound design and music, and it's very cool. And we're currently releasing our second series of Cyborg, and it's all going down. It's very exciting. And I also have my own podcast called A Game of One's Own, where I play solo and two-player TTRPGs. It is currently on a brief hiatus while I deal with many life things, but hopefully it will be back soon.
Goddamn life gets in the way of everything.
Real.
Frustrating, because I just want to sit and play TTRPGs all day. Right, so last session, the wonderful last session / first session, we met our wonderful group, moved into a freehold, met a penguin and an AI, which then became Penguin AI, which has no relevance to anything else in any series we've ever done. I don't know what you're talking about. Any similarities are merely coincidental, and I will not have you say otherwise. Then our group has basically been written off by the powers that be, and then experienced or detected a chrysalis going on, and they rushed to go help their fellow changeling, who had been unfortunately swarmed by vampires, who were a little confused as to what was going on. After what can only be described as some of the worst hospital acting I have ever seen in the history of hospital acting, it was worth it. It was worth an attempt. It looked like things were going to go south, but then at the last minute, another vampire came in and was kind of like, get out. Just take what you want and go. And then Zelda, on the way out, picked up a mirror from the lake, which is just a mirror. I don't know what you want me to say. It has definitely no significance to anything at all. It's just a pretty mirror. And everyone was heading back to the freehold, which is where we're gonna like pick up now. It's early morning now. Like we're approaching 2:30 in the morning. Like banality outside is almost pretty much at the strongest it's ever going to be. with all the vampires being active and moving around and scurrying around and doing what they do. You will head back into the freehold. Zelda, you have this mirror in your hand. The other fellow changeling has that moment where they're like, oh, this is just the door, and then look inside, and then have to look back outside again, and do the whole "it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside" malark. You see that Frobisher has gone back to their little penguin body, minus the roller skates. They're back to flippers. We've learned that roller skates aren't the smartest thing to use. What would you like to do?
I would like to talk with our new changeling friend.
Our new friend.
Yes. Sorry, are you all right? Can we get you anything? We're a bit new to this place as well, but I think if we think hard enough, we might be able to get you something.
Think hard enough. That's no, that checks out. No, I just I don't know how long I've been asleep for. It must have been a while. It's fine. I'm fine. My name's Yana, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Yana. Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Xena. Xena Crowther.
Okay. That's nice to know. I suppose I should stop being rude and say, like, thank you for saving me and helping me. I didn't know what was going on. I still don't fully know what was going on. There is a lot to think about.
We're just glad that you are safe. Zelda says this, and she is not even looking at her. She's kind of just examining her with the screwdriver. She's almost just saying it like automatically, like on a script, like, yeah, I'm glad you're okay.
Totally haven't had to say this before. That was a weird noise. No, Yana's okay. Yana's good. The screwdriver doesn't yield anything weird. Frobisher brings over a couple of like orange squash drinks. They've managed to like balance a plate on their one flipper, and is serving everyone a glass of orange juice if they want it.
I'll gladly take some.
Yeah, don't ask where it came from. It just appeared.
Now you know I have to ask where it came from. Now you know I have to ask all the specifics on how all of the things just appeared.
So you want to know how reality works? Well,
yes, I actually do want to know how reality works. Please divulge me of all the secrets.
Well, if you've got about 4 hours, there once was a bang. Yana takes her glass, takes a sip of it. This is quite sweet. I don't think it'd be this sweet. Puts the glass down. So, what is it you do here? What's your job or task?
Keep the fire going.
Currently, it's a bit of a losing battle, pointing at the smolders of the fire.
They look up over to the tower and can just see the smoldering flames, and then the ginormous ball of dust that is still blocking the entrance to the tower. Frobisher hasn't figured out how to get rid of it. They have realized that they can run and jump into it as a kind of like trampoline thing. That just sends dust everywhere again. There has been a few like minor changes while you were gone. The workshop area, the Knocker workshop area, has been turned back on again and been cleared a little bit. So there's actually some workspace there now that you can use to look at things. And a few of the like a couple of the houses on the one side have been redecorated and now have like little signs with your names on them as like little houses.
That's so cute.
They're kind of like those like Victorian style like thin houses that are like thin but long, but they're over in one corner. It is getting late though.
Well, I think I'm probably going to have to turn in for the night. Gotta get up bright and early tomorrow and try and gather some glamour so that the fire doesn't go out. And it looks like the place is welcoming us a bit more with our own personalized cubby holes. So I'm going to go check that out.
Awesome. Like the rest of the freehold, thinking about things can change it. So when you enter these little cubby holes, or cubby homes, they are pretty much blank canvases. You can just like think what you want your place to look like, and it will take that form. So what would Xena's home look like?
I think it would have like a 60s/70s conversation pit in the middle. And just like very loud kind of orange and brown decor with lots of flower power kind of going on. Yeah, and I think some like kind of bead curtains and stuff like that.
I love that.
Totally understandable. D/Zelda / I'm eating. I forgot how long it takes to eat one of these.
You're all good.
What are you doing with the mirror?
Ooh, that's a great question. I have to examine it. I have to like see how it works. But like Zelda's like probably like nearly like harmed herself too many times poking at like chimeric objects to know that I can't just open this with a chisel. That's going to go badly for me. She makes a note that like at some point she'll go to the workshop proper and examine it properly, but for now she'll take it with her and kind of like stare into it at like different angles and reflection and try to figure out what's going on with this thing, why it's only showing like my face self, if it shows anything else for everyone else, stuff like that.
Okay. Give me intelligence plus enigmas. The difficulty is 8 because you're not using the workshop, you're just looking at it.
Fair, that's fair. I will accept how this goes.
I mean, it's still 3 bloody successes. even
I have
difficulty
the
8.
biggest brain.
You're looking at this mirror and it's reeking of like chimerical energy. You are able to activate its tracking mode again, and you're able to see the dots again. This time, however, you see 3 dots, not 2. One of them is much further away from the other. And unlike the vampires who discovered how to do this last episode, you are clever enough to work out approximate distance from this mirror.
Nice.
So you can work out that one of these mirrors is less than a mile away from you. Appears to be moving underground. The other one is about a good 4 or 5 miles away. The other is like a good 10 to 20. It's a good distance away. Just as you're thinking that, your brain tells you to duck.
Oh!
As you do that, as you the instinctive duck comes in, you hear a gunshot, and a bullet flies out of the mirror, and bounces off, ricochets off like a pan, causing absolute chaos.
Oh, that's terrible. Zelda loves that.
Excuse me. Yeah, no. Yeah, this bullet flies out, hits something, bounces off it, and then the mirror just turns off. Even with 3 successes, you can't ascertain its true purpose. You're gonna need a bit more than that, I think, to figure it out.
Makes sense. Project now.
What does your home look like, though? That's now got one bullet hole in it.
With the one bullet hole included. I have 2 different ideas of what it could be. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's on one half of this place. There's it's not it probably could be bigger than it looks, but it's not. One half of this rather small apartment-looking place is just her bed. And it's very colorful, but it's stuck with sci-fi posters and stuff. There's some Star Wars, there's some Star Trek, there's some Atomic Robo, there's some whatever. The other half is pristine. Nothing is out of place. It is all linoleum and white. It is a little lab, a little workshop. Not as much stuff going on as in the actual proper workshop. All the tools here are, at least in appearance, mundane. So aren't actually that useful, but they are comforting to have. And that is, she sleeps where she works, which is probably bad.
You all sleep, and wake up the morning after. The good news is that while London is still banal, it's not as banal now. You can now leave without fear of choking too much, courtesy of vampires. You get a bit of a wake-up call, if I'm honest. Frobisher is sort of walks around with a gong in one flipper and a hammer in the other, and just starts hitting it to wake you all up at about 8 a.m. If you haven't already gotten up.
Of course.
Oh, Xena has not already gotten up.
Yeah, you say a gong, gong, gong. If you don't leave your house quick enough, the gonging starts to get faster. If that does not work, the next step is to walk into the house with the gong.
Wretched! Hate it!
So it's up to you how far Frobisher goes to get you out of bed. If that doesn't work, flippers on feet and pulling forward is the next step. You will be dragged out of your bed.
I think the circular conversation pit can convert into a giant circular bed. So I think that's where Xena is. And yeah, I think they let it get to the point of Frobisher coming into the house because, yeah, it's just like it's too early for Xena. This is not their natural habitat. Mornings.
And sleep all day, party all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Frobisher pretty much almost gets on the bed and starts hitting the gong before they realize you're awake. Doesn't even say anything. Just nods a little bit before jumping back off the bed, flippering away to the next house to see if everyone else is awake. So the question is Zelda awake before is Zelda awake before the gong goes off? And if not, how far does Frobisher have to go?
Zelda is kind of half awake. She looks like she has just been woken. She wakes up early to re-examine the mirror and work on stuff. So by the time the gong goes off, she's half asleep on her desk, kind of thing. The first rounds will probably rouse her as she gets out looking exhausted as she's there another bright day for science. Just lying to herself that she's totally fine.
That sounds like Zelda. You're both ushered out. Akshra comes out as well. Along with Yana. Who looks like she slept okay. And you notice that one of those lovely TV screens on the clock tower turns on. And your I was about to say your favorite woman. Your favorite person who doesn't believe in you appears
that's accurate.
on screen. And sort of ruffles her hair slightly and goes, "So I see you all didn't get eaten last night. Well, that's a positive start."
We actually did incredibly well. Well, minus getting spotted and then surrounded by vampires. But apart from that, we did remarkably well.
So in your first night, you blew your cover.
Incorrect. We saved someone, which in the process involved blowing our cover. All the facts are important.
Okay, fine. You saved someone. I'm guessing that's this pixie here. You sort of see Yana float up a little bit with her wings a little bit, and be like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. Thank you very much. I am a person. I have a name." Of which the woman completely dismisses and does not commit to memory at all. What is Zelda doing with the mirror? Does Zelda have the mirror on them, with them?
It is with them. There's almost zero chance I'm showing it to this person right now until I've shown it to Xena and everyone else. It's just not happening. We will get yelled at.
Yes, you keep the mirror in your pocket. It doesn't matter anyway, because unfortunately, Frobisher has reported back what happened last night. You didn't think you didn't think they'd actually forget the babysitting protocols, do you? You sort of see the woman goes, "I was also told you picked up some sort of glamour artifact."
I look at Xena. Oh gosh, Xena doesn't even know about the mirror yet. I haven't gotten the chance to tell. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think Xena just kind of looks around and then sees Zelda's expression and is just does something that I can't do, which is raise an eyebrow, which is something that I wish I could do. I just look constipated if I try.
It seems that somebody has already gone ahead to report things. Frobisher will have a very lengthy discussion later.
Frobisher isn't around anymore. You can just hear the waddling of flippers behind the back of the clock tower.
Just glare in that direction. And I don't think I'm good at lying. And I do not think I could intimidate this person at all. So I pull out the mirror, no problem. And I'm like, we did happen to stumble upon this fascinating device. Still in the process of figuring out the specifics of how it works.
Can I see it?
I very slowly pull the mirror out from my pocket. Look at Xena here. Like, I don't know what I'm meant to do.
I'm just like Xena, the expression on Xena's face is just like, you brought this on yourself, my friend.
You see the woman looks at the mirror for a moment, and you can see like squinting, like get a closer look at it. Can you just like flip the back for me so I can see the back of it?
Yeah, I flip it and I make sure that no one important is standing behind the front of the mirror now, remembering the bullet.
There is a image of a rose on the back. It is a sort of like bluish colored rose. And you sort of see when she sees this rose mirror, her eyes kind of light up. You really found a rose mirror? Just casually found one.
It was as casual as I could possibly. I mean, I had to walk in a lake, but like, it didn't appear that the vampires in the area knew where it was. I take it by your expression, this is significant beyond being a fancy trinket.
No, it's just a fancy trinket.
Bullshit.
It's just a very nice fancy trinket. If you happen to find any more of them, I would appreciate being kept in the loop. And by appreciate, I mean you will keep me in the loop. I know what you do.
I smile and I'm like, whatever do you mean? It sounds like you don't trust us very much. Despite putting us in charge of this entire Balefire.
Okay, fine. I will indulge you. Those mirrors are part of an ancient set. 6 to be precise. It was said that if you could get all 6 mirrors, you could open a gate to Arcadia and reconnect us back to our lost home. Or we could use it to create so much glamour that it would vanquish banality in its entirety. No one quite knows which is which, because no one's ever managed to get all 6 before. They kind of appear, then disappear, and reappear again. They're only ever active for short periods of time before they suddenly disappear.
You can see the dots connecting in Zelda's head. Half the theories that she's coming up with are wrong, for sure. But she's like, so if any others are appearing, it is imperative to collect them before they disappear, however it is that they pulled this off.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But of course, collecting them all is extremely dangerous.
Think of the glamour you could create with it.
It would
Have you
help
tried?
in our.
I'm gonna say, have you
Oh, sorry.
tried holding it to the balefire?
I look at the the direction of Balefire, still thinking of the bullet. I'm like, that may be an interesting experiment. I will attempt it. However, I have to consult with everyone first, if that is okay with you.
I don't think I have a choice, do I?
No, you don't. But we will report what happens if it makes you feel better.
I mean, I'd rather you report it than have to get it out of that robot. Okay. Good luck, I guess. I will be in touch if I find out anything else that's worthy. You can see the screen just turns off. No goodbye, no nothing. Just turns off.
Zelda turns to Xena, and she is sweating, just profusely sweating, as she very calmly says, "I think that went well."
Okay. That's a lot to take in. Where did you find this thing? In the few seconds I had my back turned.
I slowly approach Xena and just put like a hand on her shoulder and says, "Where it came from is much less important than what it can do. Everything that she told you is new information for me and tells me just how dangerous it truly is. What I don't, either she does not realize or is not telling us, is that these artifacts, these mirrors, seem to have connections to each other. If any other holder of this mirror understands that, then we have a very, very dangerous item on our hand."
Yes, I'm not keen on having another target on our back other than being some of the only changelings in the city with the only balefire. But
it would be extremely inconvenient. Oh no, please carry on.
It's all right. I'm just I am interested to see how it works and if it works. But I suspect that perhaps some of the stories of its powers when it's gathered with its fellow mirrors is exaggerated. Usually these things are overblown legends, but maybe it does something kind of cool.
And Zelda looks at it, and for a moment, you can see her getting excited, thinking about the possibility of something can generate glamour and open up links with other locations, breaking the fabric of how reality is meant to work. And then she kind of slows down for a bit and is like, the one advantage that we have with this fantastic mirror is that this was sitting in a lake in the middle of the park and no one seemed to have noticed it. What that tells me is that all this chimeric energy, this glamour that just oozes off of this object, vampires being vampires, they could probably tell it's powerful if they held it in their hands, but from a distance, they cannot detect it or understand how it works. So we have a big advantage over everyone else who has this mirror. Personally, I think connecting these dangerous artifacts irresponsibly would be bad for all of humanity and Feykind collectively. But it could be exciting if we could do it cleverly, right? If we could just harness it and make like a big glamour generator, a perpetual motion engine. Yes, I can see it. I can see it. The vision is there.
Cool. Okay. I'm that's not my specialty, but it seems like you've got lots of ideas, and it would be quite fun to, I don't know, wipe that condescending smirk off our handler's face when she thinks that we can't do anything.
Exactly. You can see.
You see the screen turns on again, and it's like, I know you can do something. I just don't think you can do things particularly well. And it just turns off again.
Very rude. That was a private conversation.
No manners at this one. Can you believe? Anyway, we can't let this get into the hands of other vampires. If they are to find a way to collect all of them and open up a portal using it, it would be disastrous for all of us and our homeland.
Yes, it seems that, things can go very well or very poorly very quickly with these things. Interesting. But is there anything... Yeah, shall we point it at the fire and see what it does?
I incredibly dramatically wave it in front of the fire and see what happens.
As you kind of like point it up towards the fire, you see that like this, what can only be described as a beam of like chimerical energy, hits, like protrudes from the mirror, and lights up the balefire. It shines brightly, really brightly and really intently for a moment, before it then settles back down again. Like the green flames settle. But it is noticeably brighter and more concentrated than it was before. Mechanically, the balefire now has one more glamour point.
Nice.
So the freehold changes slightly. The dust ball just automatically disintegrates. And you notice that the night sky above the freehold now has a few more stars in it. It's no longer just a black empty sky. There are a couple of stars. You also notice that the mirror turns back on again.
Oh, no.
And it seems to be locking on to something. You can see the other mirrors, the other three mirrors moving around various places, but you notice that the two more dots have appeared, i.e. mirrors 5 and 6. But they're not taking you outside. They seem to be pointing towards the door that leads into the dreaming.
Oh, that's deeply concerning. I look at Xena and I'm like, sounds like this movie wants us to go on a bit of an adventure.
Okay. What kind of adventure?
Well, the dangerous and horrible kind where you could die, no matter which direction you go. A few of those dots are moving, so they're possessed by people. And I definitely do not think our odds against potentially vampires, potentially other changelings are good. The others are leading straight into the dreaming, which is also a horrifying, lawless place where the laws of physics do not matter. But I'm confident, looking at you, that you will be able to handle this environment excellently.
I appreciate your confidence. I'm somewhat concerned about both of those options, but if it's like a cheat code to just get insta glamour for the fire, then that's kind of cool.
I look at the mirror and I'm like, it definitely helps to have a method to top it up. But relying on it, if it activates the mirror every time we do, seems risky.
Right.
The first time I activated this properly, a bullet flew out of the mirror. I'm presuming one fired on the other source of one of the other mirrors, which was very near fatal. So
Yeah.
if things can go through the mirror, I would rather not keep opening it up.
Understood. All right. Yes. So, feels like got a couple of missions. Find dreaming mirrors, find mortal world mirrors, find just straight up ordinary glamour. I'm not really sure what we should try first.
Zelda kind of like paces around a little bit, looks in the direction of the dreaming. You can very much tell that Zelda does not feel comfortable going into the dreaming. But despite this, she says, we probably will have the biggest advantage is the wrong word, but the dreaming is a natural location for us, even if it still feels bizarre and strange. So that's probably the immediate bet. Of course, the safest one is to just get ordinary glamour. Not as dramatic, but it helps to keep us topped up until we
That's
have
true.
more strength to go somewhere dangerous.
Yes. Perhaps we could combine a couple and go in search of glamour in London, but try and pick up intel on who or what may have the mirrors here without actually making a break for grabbing them.
Smart, very clever. I misjudged you. You are indeed intelligent. I believe in you.
Wow. Okay. I see that's intended as a compliment, so I will take it as such. But just let me process for a second. Okay.
Does Zelda want to examine the mirror in the workshop before they leave?
Yeah, with like proper tools. Gotta look at this thing properly.
Repeat your intelligence plus enigmas check. If Xena wants to help, I will. If Xena's going to stay there to help you, I'll say the difficulty is 5. Otherwise, it's 6 if you're on your own.
I have a dot in enigmas, so I'd be happy to help with that.
Nice.
Yeah, roll it then, Zelda, to make it DC 5.
All right, I believe. Hey, 4 successes.
Awesome. So this is a kind of chimerical storage device. What can be only described as a high-powered battery.
Nice.
In order to like disguise their functions, they have been enchanted to exhibit vampiric properties, so that a casual observer wouldn't suspect that they are Fey items. So you learn 2 things. The first thing you learn is what that vampiric artifact is. This gives you the ability to dominate anyone who looks into the mirror. You simply have to point the mirror at them, have them look at their own reflection, and then give them a command. And they have to obey the command. You also are able to reactivate the mirror at will. But it now has 1 extra function. You can now look through the other mirrors to see what's coming out the other side. However, what you can't ascertain... Well, no. What you have worked out... I'll say what you have, not what you haven't worked out. What you have worked out is that you can use this to track the mirrors, but that doesn't mean the others know that you're tracking them. You get the impression that yours is probably just as discoverable if the other mirrors are activated. But they don't ping to each other to alert them that one of them has suddenly started looking for the others. So as long as no one else activates the mirror, they don't know of your existence. But yeah, basically big batteries, disguised like vampire devices. They can use, for V5 equivalents, they can use Dominate 5. But you can also use them now to see what the mirror sees from the other side. If you want to ascertain if the mirror's actually been found or is just lying in a lake somewhere.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Presumably, since Xena is helping me with this, they're probably also getting roughly the same info. And anything that isn't clear, Zelda will happily explain, mixing in her own incorrect theories. There's 2 different theories about the mirrors actually being wormholes, another one about them being spaces of infinite mass. They're definitely wrong, probably. but yeah.
Yeah, I think Xena can kind of grasp the most of the kind of Fey logic of it, but when it delves into when Zelda delves into kind of more physics-based things, their eyes just kind of cross slightly, and it's just like, no, my brain can't handle that right now. That's fine. I'll think about something else.
Fantastic. So what is your plan for the day? It's about 9:30, 10 a.m. by the time you're done examining the mirror. You could go glamour hunting. You could go mortal realm mirror hunting, or you could go dreaming mirror hunting.
I would suggest going glamour hunting, but in the vicinity of where the pings of the closest other mirror is.
Awesome.
That sounds like a solid plan, yeah. So our primary goal of glamour hunting, and since we're nearby, if hey, mirror's close and we're not dying from banality, all right, we can get that right now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if we are, then it's a good radar to get the heck out of there.
You will prepare to go back out again. Robuster suggests not taking the shotgun, since that can't be disguised.
That's fair.
But does recommend taking your umbrellas.
Yeah.
Also, Frobisher now has a new form. Frobisher now has the backpack form. You now have a penguin-shaped backpack with little floppy flippers that sort of dangle off the bottom. That someone can wear. It's also an actual functional backpack. So you can store things in there. It is actually useful. If one of you would want it. If not, actually, I can wear it.
I'd be happy to either take it or let Zelda have it, because if Zelda's more tech savvy, but I also like the idea of wearing a really cute penguin backpack. I'm happy either way.
I feel like that fits your general vibe. So, like, I think you should probably take that one. I've got the mirror if bad things happen. I'm okay.
Cool. And you can always run up behind me and mess with the backpack on my back if we need something done with it.
Fantastic. So you walk out up onto the onto Camden Market level. You use the mirror. Congratulations. The other mirror ping is less than 300 meters away.
Interesting.
You walk out of Camden Market onto Camden High Street. You quite literally turn the corner and then it is literally there. Except it's coming from underground.
Zelda whispers to herself, "More people," louder than she intends.
Are there any visible like manhole covers nearby?
There are like manhole covers around that you could potentially use. There's. Tell you what. Why is there no history skill in Changeling?
You know, now you mention it.
Yeah,
Everyone,
would that be
give me intelligence investigation.
Sure.
Okay.
7 is the difficulty.
Okay.
All right,
And
all right.
I'll
Well,
add
success
both of your
to-
totals together.
Nice.
So just one success for me.
Okay, 1 plus 2 from Zelda. Okay. So 3 combined. London has a lot of disused tube network. That after the Second World War was just never recommissioned. And because Camden's quite close to central London, there is an extensive network that like flows underneath. On 3 combined successes, you probably don't know how to automatically access it. It's unlikely to be the sewers. They're built as 2 separate networks. You can go down to the sewers to like open manhole cover, drop down to like work out that it isn't, or there might be a way down there that actually connects the 2 together. But none of you are definitely sure. Who knows that was actually any help?
Okay, so
It could be one
unlike
thing,
the
it could
sewers-
be the other.
Mhm. Sewers are really gross. They're so gross. I think just on that alone, Zelda will probably think, yeah, we're not checking that place until like later, which is
Yeah.
not particularly. Perhaps it's not the most scientific way to go about this, but I like my shoes. I really do, and I like them being in good condition, and I like not smelling like everyone's dinner from 2 weeks ago. You know.
Yeah, I think that's understandable. I think practical considerations are important in these sorts of things. Perhaps there's some buskers down in the tube that we can chat up and see if there's
Sure.
a way from the existing tube network to the shutdown tube network, or are they
speak with the-
completely separate? I don't know.
You speak with the buskers. Are all the trains in this part of town, in this part of the city, automated, or are they still a couple of that aren't? I might be able to bother the staff. They tend to know things. They've been here for a while.
Yeah. So Xena, you head off to go find some buskers outside Camden Station. There's quite a few here. Kind of almost engaged in a battle of the bands to get the most attention. Like every now and again, one of them will turn their amp up a little louder, and you can just feel like this is a noise complaint waiting to happen. Like it can only end one way. You see this guy, like mousy brown hair, has got an acoustic guitar and is strumming away on it, singing something. It's a song that I don't think it's not even a popular song. It's just lyrics. It has no structure. It has no meaning. It is just the strumming of several chords with random lyrics attached to it. And they're just singing away.
I am just looking up one of my abilities, which is Surreal Beauty. I possess a beauty far beyond that of normal mortals, unsettling in its perfection. Blah blah blah. Reduce the difficulty by 3 on any roll which you try to acquire a changeling or fey. Oh, it's a changeling or fey touched attention. It's not mortal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's actually a penalty to mortals because they find it so unsettling.
Yeah.
I want to say I can't quite remember from.
Other beings find your beauty unnatural, imposing a +1 difficulty on attempts. Yeah. Okay, that is fair. So I can't use that in this case. But I'll just try good old fashioned charisma and just go up to this guy.
So Surreal Beauty is always on. Because it's a merit. This guy becomes so either enthralled or perturbed. It's hard to tell which of the two by your beauty, and like stops playing the guitar, like keeps playing the guitar but starts playing it wrong. Like 20 or 30 seconds, like isn't looking at what they're doing. They're now just strumming and moving their fingers as her eyes just can't like get off you for a moment before they then stop playing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. Your playing is lovely. What song are you playing?
Just some stuff. Just random bits I come up with. I'm a really good musician, you know.
I can tell. I can absolutely tell. What kind of are your creative sparks? What inspires you to write? I'm a similarly creative person myself, and I just when I see another talented person, I always want to pick their brains about how they come up with their art.
Oh, I listen to music, I listen to like different genres, and then I kind of pick out the bits I like and I try to mash them together. Like that kind of thing. This is subtext for he steals things, doesn't actually create things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, David Bowie said something along the lines of, like, he steals stuff all the time. Or stole, rest in peace. I think, so I'm trying to inspire creativity, which is my way of collecting glamour.
Yeah.
And I've got an idea, but I'm very happy to shelve it if it's not going to work. I would like to, if there is an artist that I know is a changeling, that maybe is slightly less well known, like if I can bring them up on Spotify and play it to this guy and see if it triggers a reaction.
Yeah, no, you can do that. There's plenty of changeling artists out there that try to pose as musicians, get close to other musicians. You play it. He has a positive reaction to it. He likes the idea of it. Like takes a note of the name. It's like, oh, I could probably do some work with that. And you see that he
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, he also pulls out his own phone and like shows you his Spotify profile that he's got. That because of course he posts it on Spotify.
Of course.
It's like
I'll
he like
performatively
shows his...
follow on Spotify, intending to immediately unfollow when I leave.
Yes.
It's like, well, I suppose I could use that for my next song. I have been in a little bit of a slump. I haven't posted in a while. Like you can see from his page, he hasn't posted in about a year and a half. Oh, this could be something useful. Thank you, I guess.
Yeah. If you ever need like recommendations or just someone to bounce ideas off of, you can find me here, and I'll certainly show one of my social media profiles.
He'll add you, so that he can contact you. So the way it works is that he doesn't immediately give off glamour. Like he's got an idea, but it's not quite there yet. So give it some time, and you might be able to come back. And assuming he's actually made something, you might be able to harvest glamour off that.
Cool. But he's very close to the base, so I can just pop out and be like,
yeah.
"Hey, you written anything yet?"
Yeah, you can pop out at lunch. Like, if you finished yet, like you can feel the glamour starting to form. That there's a creative process starting there. I'm glad I stopped playing.
Well, I'm glad you were happy to chat with me. I've also got a very weird question. I understand if this is not in your wheelhouse, but I'm also a bit of a sort of urban explorer. I like to find sort of abandoned, weird places in the city. I find them quite creatively stimulating, you know. And I've heard about the sort of abandoned tube network post Second World War, and I was wondering if you or anyone you know might have a way to get in there. I know it's probably a long shot, but you know, you don't ask, don't get.
I mean, there is the old tube network that goes under Camden. There used to be like 2 or 3 stops, and then there was like the whole interchange underground where they used to like change stations, and like because back then they didn't have a whole loop, so they had to like use huge turntables underground to like move the trains around and shift them. I know they exist. I've never actively tried to get into them.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, you could try going down the actual current tube tracks. I'm sure if they used parts of the system to like build the new one, so maybe this link down there that like hints at not having like the old network. I'm not quite sure.
Right. Do you think there would be like old maps of the, like I could compare a map of the new tube network and the old one and see if they join up anywhere?
That's not a bad shout. Yeah, the British Library should probably have some maps, I'd imagine. That's just down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Thanks so much. I'll let you get on. I'm sure lots of people will be coming by with tips very soon.
Here's hoping.
And I'll take out like a £10 note and I'll stick it in whatever like hat or cup he has.
He's got his guitar case. And you just sort of see him go tipping £10 in this economy.
I mean, you got to nurture talent when you find it.
He tries to hide a blush, but can't quite hide it quick enough. and goes back to playing his guitar.
Cool. I will head off and I'll see if I can find Zelda first, but
Okay.
I'll let Zelda's scene play out first.
So Zelda is planning to talk to some of the engineers, aren't you? So the people like work at the actual station.
Yeah, preferably the nerdier they look, the better.
There is this woman who is technically a engineer, but is wearing a half lab coat stitched to like the bottom of their like they've got their high vis jacket and then the bottom they've like stitched together the bottom of a lab coat to it. So that looks a little bit, you know, that is as nerdy as you're going to get. At least here. Thing is, they work in Camden, which like is a really like diverse and eccentric place. Like it actually kind of fits in. If this was Kensington or Chelsea, then yeah, there'd be a bit of an oddball, but this is Camden, so they're currently looking at a signal box just on the edge of the tube network, like the tube station itself, where it goes off into the actual tunnels itself. And is resorting to whacking it with the wrench. It's got to that point now where it's just whack, whack, whack.
All right, I like observed this for a little bit, fascinated in the tried and tested method of just smack it a few times and see if that fixes it. Before I'll eventually actually approach and be like, you all seem to be having some slight difficulty here. The signal box, of course.
Technical difficulties is what they call it officially, but unofficially, it's this bastard thing won't work. You see, they whack it again, and the light goes from green to purple because they're LED lights now. They're not old-fashioned bulbs. So kind of like she whacked it, and it goes purpley pink, and it's like there must be that color. Like whacked it again, and it goes back to being green again. It's just giving me a spot of bother. It doesn't want to change when it's supposed to change.
I look at it and I'm like, I'm working on some of similar design in college a long time back. Do you mind if I take a whack at it? I want to look at.
I mean, health and safety regulations say that I shouldn't let customers work on the equipment, but I mean, no one's looking. She gets off the ladder slightly to let you go up there.
Yeah, I go up there. I'm poking at this thing. I want to see if I can fix it. It is a mere machine. It is not my master. Let's see if I can fix this. Do I actually
Intelligence plus computers.
Intelligence plus computers.
Intelligence plus technology.
Aha! I can do that. Oh yeah.
It's difficulty 6, but add +1 because using engineering, which is your specialty.
Perfection. So I just check the use specialty box, engineering. I'll deal with that. I'm a poke it with my. Actually, this weirdly enough, the sonic screwdriver wouldn't help me too much here. It's not glamorous. So I use it like a regular screwdriver as I see if I can. I did not click that. I clicked close. That is.
Yeah, don't hit close on the skill check.
Here
7
we go.
successes.
Yo! Okay.
2 10s,
Wow.
2 9s, 1 8. Not a single
This
one
machine
inside.
does not control me.
To be honest, I don't think you do anything. I think you just standing next to it does that weird, annoying tech thing where it just decides to work now because you're standing next to it. Maybe it's the glamour that just like maybe the tech can sense glamour and just decides, you know what, I'm going to work now. And Like you just touch it with your hand and it just flickers and then like reboots itself into the correct configuration.
Perfect.
And you sort of see that she's like,
perfect.
what? How?
Sometimes you just need a gentle touch. And I like pat the box gently, say, good girl.
As you pat it, it kind of flickers for a moment, like don't push your luck. Anyway, have you considered a job in engineering?
That was the last place. Wasn't exactly my calling, unfortunately. Not the engineering part, the job. Nasty workplace, you know how it is.
Yeah, some workplaces are unfortunately quite hostile.
Still never quite lost a passion for it though. Even these trains. And like Zelda like really gets into it for a moment when she's like, it's really, I can never stop thinking about the fact that all of these like tunnels, the trains, everything this place is made up of was built by dozens and dozens and hundreds of people working together bit by bit over time, to the point where all the individual components are almost no one can put it all together themselves. It's just fascinating to me.
It is, especially because how much they left behind when they built the new version.
I look at her and like, oh, please tell me more. I've heard a little bit about the old system, but never from anyone that actually had any experience with it.
After the Second World War and, the Blitz and a lot of the tube stations being transferred into war offices, a few of them were just never converted back to tube stations. As part of like London's reconstruction, it was decided to like rejig the system around a bit, so they cut off quite a few stations and made a more streamlined network, at least in the inner city.
I nod like, so still out there in little pockets are these little hideouts, these little headquarters originally meant for fighting against evil and now just rotting away.
Yeah, Camden has has a couple. There's a couple of old stations. There's the old interchange that got abandoned because they didn't need a turntable anymore. And yeah, Camden's probably got the most. Well, not the most. I think Islington has a few more, but the good news is most of ours are kind of accessible still, if you know where to look.
Ooh. All right. I'm a shoot two birds with one stone here. Zelda gets her glamour from, what is it? I have to check again. From fostering dreams, inspiring people to kind of to achieve things they want to achieve, wisdom that they work hard enough they can do it, blah blah blah, etc. Usually in Zelda's case, she wants people to build and make stuff, and I also want to know the plans of this place. So Zelda will say, that's interesting that they're still all accessible, and I get that perhaps most people wouldn't know where they all are. But when I was a kid, I used to put together little model train sets, and I still want to get back into like constructing like a full-scale model of the subway systems, the underground here. It doesn't seem like that big of a thing right now, but I always look at it and I'm thinking, as a kid, I always wanted to put these models together. First, as they are, and then second, see how they can be improved or can be changed around. And like, you're smart, you have experience here. I bet with enough time, if the brass actually listened to you, you could probably make improvements. You're knowledgeable enough. I wonder if there's still plans or blueprints of that stuff around. I just want to give her a little nudge that she could do better than simply fixing Sigma boxes, and also possibly get an idea of the layout.
Yeah, you push her. It won't be immediately obvious if it's worked or not.
Of course.
In terms of plans, she kind of relays the same as what Xena was told. The British Library does keep archives of a lot of old maps, and also a lot of modern maps. So she suggests you maybe overlay the two over one another. You also see that she says she mentions that you can cut half of this out if you just go down into the tube network itself and just points like into the tunnel. She's like, oh, don't don't get off the station platform and start walking down everyone will see you. But if you go up and walk down the street about 4 or 5 houses, there's a tiny little service entrance on like a green door. If you open that door and go down, it'll take you to the service level. As you walk along the tunnels. It's really quiet when there's no trains down there.
That's good in a way. Gives you time to think, plan. And also means it's peaceful enough that I can actually map it out properly.
Yeah, just be careful down there. They don't like people down there.
I can imagine. I'll be sure not to get caught.
Officially, I said nothing.
Officially, we never met. Officially, I never caught your name, did I?
No, it's Yasmin.
Jasmine. Zelda. Of course you didn't hear that from me.
When you say Zelda, they look you up and down, and they're like, I thought Zelda was the one with the green hat.
Zelda, who does not play fantasy games, is like, I thought so too, honestly. Apparently, I was wrong on that front too. Who'd have thought?
Oh, well, yeah, no, I'm not much of a gamer either, so, but I just had it in my head. Well, look after yourself. Don't get run over by any trains.
I'll try my very best as I kind of wave her off and try and return to find Xena.
I think Xena's at this point is still probably outside. They've just
it might just be
standing outside the station.
Yeah. Did I get a name for the
he calls himself
guitarist?
Crow.
Cool.
And
Of course he does.
That's the only name you have.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's like artist name, real name, question mark.
Yeah. It's a name.
It's a name that I have. Cool. So yeah, I think I'm just walking away from this and maybe spot Zelda coming out of the tube station and like, oh hey, how did it go?
Xena, it was great. Zelda completely forgets that we're on a mission and goes on about the details of the subway station and how everything connects. Until she is actively interrupted, she will info dump about trains for an hour. You have to stop her.
I think if there's a mention of maps at any point, Xena will interrupt and be like, "Oh yes, I heard that you could probably get maps from the British Library, comparing the old network and the new network, and see if we can get into the old network from a connection point."
Oh yes, mission. Please forgive me. That is perfect. Getting the maps from the museum will help tremendously. I do know of a single entrance point. If you go, if you go 5, I wrote this down and I can't find my 5 houses down, enter the service. There's a service entrance, big green door, and that should take you down a level. Of course, going in blind without a map is probably still ill-advised, and you do not want to get caught by anybody when down there.
Right. No, that's good. We've got an entrance and we've got leads on how to figure out what the heck's down there. Perfect. I'm feeling very studious now. I'm interested to see what some old maps have. My sense of direction is terrible, and I failed orienteering when I was very briefly a scout. It was very brief. It was one session, but yeah. Now I'm prepared to give it another try.
Excellent. Very adventurous. All this in the name of science, and also our actual mission, but science too.
Yes, furthering human and Fey knowledge is a very noble goal.
Fantastic. So, library next then.
Yeah.
Awesome. What we'll do before then is we'll have a quick break.
Good plan.
So that you can have a quick stretch, get a drink, go to the toilet. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. So about 15:42 UK time-ish, because we're never exactly on time. And we'll see you then. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. Oh, I've had a good break. I have my drink. So, you head to the British Library. Really nice place, actually. Very big, though. I'm not going to make you do the whole let's role play finding the maps. Otherwise, we'll be here for a full hour. So we'll keep it relatively simple. You can find the maps. You can get them out. You have to spend about an hour here going through. So it's going to be probably around midday-ish before you get anywhere. You can't overlay the maps. They don't have like any transparent one. They do have two, an up-to-date and an old map. Comparing these side by side, you don't need to be a private investigator to realize that there are like, there used to be 4 station bits, but then they kind of curved around in the new one and like cut a large section of the old Camden Underground off. There are 3 large places. There are 2 tube stations and 1 round table. Like 1 old turntable station that just like was left abandoned. They all still have surface entrances marked on the old map that still correlate to places on the new map. But you don't know whether they're active or not. Whether they're like built over or like something got put there in its place. You do know though, based on the train tunnel and the knowledge of the entrance that Zelda knows, you now know where to go if you dropped down from there. So it's very much up to you which one of those you want to investigate, and how you want to get into it.
I think my instinct would be to use the entrance that we already know about and see if we can navigate to the closest place from there.
Yeah, that seems solid.
Okay. So you go back up the high street, turn back on up, exactly as Yasmin said, 5 doors down. There's a large green door, which should be locked, but it looks like some kids have like bashed the lock in, and are clearly using it to go underground. So you can easily get underground this way. You enter underground, and you reach the tube tunnel system. So the tube system doesn't have many lights. It's mostly emergency lighting only. And even then, it's emergency lighting that only works about half the time. Repairing bulbs in a dark tunnel that most people won't actually look out the window of isn't a massive priority. What I will need from everyone, though, is wits And wits and investigation.
Alrighty. I have the power of poor decision making. Let's go.
Difficulty is 5.
Okay.
I guess
Someone
I'm
made
lucky
their-
today.
Someone made their cordial drink a little too weak. 4 plus 1, yeah, that's fine. You are able to navigate the system. You kind of reach a break in the track where clearly the old tracks continued going. But what they've done is they've ripped it up and then put they've concreted the tunnel. But they've left a lone door that you can go through, which then leads into the back tunnels. You creep around in these back tunnels. And reach kind of like a dead end a little bit. It turns out that the maps you've got aren't entirely accurate, or something's been built in the interim years that has cut off this part of the tube network. You do realize, however, there was a part where there was 2 train tracks that ran parallel to each other. So you kind of backtrack on yourself, go back, and with like 5 combined successes, you follow the normal train track or tube track until you reach this bit where the 2 tracks meet. It's kind of a large tunnel where you've got track on the left, track on the right, and the middle, they're divided by concrete walls, and every now and again there's these metal bar grates that you see from one side to the other. You may give me a perception investigation. Difficulty 6.
Okay.
I'm waiting for our luck to run out and you start getting 0 successes.
Shitty. I mean, yes, 7 successes combined. Fucking hell. You look through these bars, like put your phone light on, like maybe take the backpack off, and Frobish's like eyes can turn into flashlights. And you look through the grates. You can see what looks like a shooting gallery. There's like shooting targets here. And you can kind of see what looks like more of like an old network the other side of these grates. Looking at the maps from the library, this correlates to the turntable, or linked to it. It looks like this was possibly the entrance to the interchange once upon a time, before it got like concreted up. You also start to feel that choking sensation a little bit.
Oh!
As you kind of feel like banality emanating from the other side of this grate. It's not strong, but it's enough for you to go, I think I recognize what that might be. Obviously, it's daytime. In theory, vampires should be asleep. And you're not exactly banging on the grates to like gain attention. What would you like to do?
I have to check my everything real quick. So bad.
Zelda's just
but
having
I-
flashbacks to the last vampire they saw, who literally unloaded their shotgun right in front of them. I'm sure bonking them with umbrellas will work. It's fine.
I turn to look at Xena. Like I kind of stand a little bit in front of her and turn to look at Xena. So whatever direction we're going in, I'm like now walking backwards a little bit, and I'm like, "You can sense that too, can't you?"
Yes. There's a distinctly kind of fangy vibe that I'm getting of this place.
Fangy vibe. Zelda does not react to this.
So that's a player reaction.
Yeah. She nods her head and is like, if we're going to proceed, we have to be extremely quiet and have an escape plan. And I think between the three of us, or however many there might be here, they're probably faster than us.
Yes. Yes. Do not want to wake up anything sleeping.
Okay. I have to check something really quick. I guess we proceed. Do I have anything that can help me here? Because I'm gonna need some stuff real quick.
This is where Zelda pulls a blowtorch out of nowhere and just starts cutting the grates open to get inside. It's like, look for other entrances? No, this is the entrance.
As tempting as it is to actually see if I can pull such nonsense off, are there any other ways to get past? Or am I going to start picking the locks with my screwdriver and hoping for the best?
So you notice that the mirror you've got is starting to act a bit weird. Like you can track all the other mirrors, all 5 of them, like all 4 of them fine. The one that you felt around Camden, like you can't lock onto it now. It's almost like mechanically, the best way to describe it is in a video game, you've walked into a area objective, so you know it's in the area, but you can no longer see exactly where it is.
Where's the quest marker?
Now the problem is that marker's much bigger than the original dot. In that it now covers all of the old underground and the lower part of the library and most of the market.
Deeply concerning. Okay, all right, I get it. I'll add that we're probably right on top of our objective, or something really bad is happening. I hope it's the first, as interesting as the second.
Right. Okay. Is there any way that either or both of us can use our kind of natural instinct for chimerical magic to see if we can sense anything Fae related in the area without the aid of the mirror?
You give me wits and Greymere.
Yes, I have a few dots in that, so that would
difficulty 7.
7, fair play. 0. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you can't tell at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, too much banality creeping around.
I think Zelda can probably use wits and enigma at difficulty 7.
I don't think I can. my enigma's fine. My wits are I'm smart, but I make poor decisions.
I mean, you might
but
as
I
well
would
go for it.
I might as well go.
It's bad. It's only bad if you get -1 success.
True. I believe it's difficulty 7. You said, right?
57, yeah.
Let's do this. 1.
You pulled out 2 successes, but got 1 on 1, so it cancelled the other one out.
Nice.
You're getting the same weird vibe as what the mirror is giving you. It's almost like when 2 mirrors get too close to each other, they start to like cancel each other out.
All right.
But again, it's really hard to tell exactly where it is. Looking at the maps you got from the library, the 2 stations and the interchange connect to one another. So if we're going to use Zelda logic here, if you don't want to or can't get through the grates into this shooting gallery, you could try another station and try and get down that way.
That seems like it could be a good plan.
But I will also say with the Enigma success, there is lingering magic here that isn't yours. It's not Fey. But you can just about sense it with like the Enigma roll.
All right, we're busting in. We can go around to another station, but I strongly suspect that by then the signal will have disappeared. Now's our best chance. This is going to be dangerous and terrible. Isn't it exciting?
I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to see if I can pick this grate. If there's a little keyhole anywhere, or is it just the bars?
It's just the bars.
All right. Breaking it. Do I have something for this? Make it work. Whatever. I'm materials and glamour heights.
I'm gonna stop quoting Miley Cyrus or singing "I didn't want to start a war." I only wanted to let you in.
Okay. No. This would require people to be far away from me. Actually, yeah, this will work. As long as we're the only ones down here for now. I'm going to use my lovely birthright ability, make it work. I can conjure materials out of whatever I need, as long as like random scrap and stuff like that. But there isn't really a lot of scrap down here. It's just like the bars.
I mean, there is. Look, it's a tube station, like tube network. Like you can pick up scraps off the ground. There's going to be bits of old metal that like come off the track. They've just put new bits down on. Like it'll take 20 or 30 minutes to go around and pick up enough of it.
Worth it. You got it. It'll probably take us that time to like get around, or longer to get around even. I want to pick up stuff, and I still have to make some kind of roll, like intelligence plus craft, to actually create the thing.
So do intelligence plus craft then for me.
I believe in myself.
It's difficulty 7.
Difficulty 7 makes
for
sense.
A crafting check. Oh, the things that are kicking off in my other chat right now.
I have
excellent.
I love it.
Should be.
I love it. You might not love it. Yeah, add your specialty. Add your machine specialty.
Okay. So, how do I want to do this? No matter how this goes, if this is enough, this is going to be probably loud. I want to make the quietest thing I can, like a car jack or something, to bend open the gates.
Okay.
Which is still loud, but is probably quieter than like here's a chainsaw.
There's a blowtorch that was like melting the grate through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can somehow using chimerical energy. I love knockers for this. Turn these bits of like wooden and metal scraps into a car jack.
It physically looks impossible. It is impossible.
Well, here's the thing.
If you mention it, Zelda will tell you are wrong, but it is impossible.
So to Xena and to like anyone else who is looking or watches this, what they see you do is just take this like hunk of scrap metal and just push it between the bars. But what you're seeing, with the chimerical energy, is this car jack pushing the bars apart. Hang on, I am. You see, here's the thing. They forgot they had defenses, and now it's like, can we turn them on? It's like,
I love it.
So it's like, yeah, you push this open. It's actually relatively quiet until the bars pop. That's when it makes the noise. Like the central bars pop out of place, and then that's quite loud as the bars just fall and hit the ground. And then like the second set pop a couple minutes later, and then like the third set finally go, and you've now got a space big enough for one of you to get through. You see on your phone, Zelda, Frobisher, Guy adjacent,
Guy adjacent,
pop up and say, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't do this."
Your warning comes very late as I step inside.
You step inside, and as you do, on the other side of the grate, you felt a little bit of choking. Now you really feel it. It's almost like that. It's almost like that wall was keeping it in.
Oh.
And you've basically smashed the window.
Done goofed.
I need you to give me a willpower roll. And say for Xena as well if they enter. So just click on willpower.
All right, what's the difficulty for this?
The difficulty is 7.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just gonna do it.
That's real chill. Rip, fellas.
Oh no, no. I got 1.
Okay, so Xena succeeds. You're fine. Zelda, you take 1 more banality point.
Not like that.
So, don't take the box. Take the circle above it.
Okay.
So the way it works is, this is me just mechanically. Give me literally 10 seconds. I am copying a link that I should not be copying.
You're all good.
For reasons that will become evidently clear. I just need to pin the messages. No, it's not concerning. Don't worry. You're concerning yourselves a little too much. And that's not the right link. What do you think Zelda says to Xena as they like feel a little bit more banal?
Oh no, what would she say? She's there and she's feeling this banality, this gloom, this drudgery washing over her. And she says something she'd never normally say. She says, "To be honest, I have no idea how I got that jack to work."
And like in the very short time that Xena has known Zelda, that seems like a very odd thing for Zelda to say. I don't know if Xena can detect the increase of banality, but
Yeah.
there's definitely something odd going on here.
You look at the mirror. The mirror is now starting to really, really resonate. And then you realize something.
Mhm.
You think the other mirror is here. But if the beeping and the looking through the mirror looks okay, you're not moving. Why is the signal getting stronger?
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no! No! Oh, this is the worst. Oh, jeez.
It's slowly getting stronger. You still haven't like perfectly worked out where it is yet. But it must be coming from like deeper in. Like past this firing range, there's been like impromptu firing range that's been set up. Which, by the way, you're actually standing on the range now, because that's the way you came in. Like this paper target to the right of you, the table to the left of you. Behind the table, there's what looks like a entranceway that leads like deeper into something. Think very carefully. And when I say carefully, I mean real carefully.
All right. So, however we proceed, we cannot just walk in. We will die. Someone here is alert and moving, and judging by the banality, it's probably either a vampire or something vampiric. Okay, first, I'm just looking around. Are there any kind of like, there's probably like lights and things and like really basic electronics, some that work, some that don't. Yeah?
There are lights here, but they're all off.
They're all off.
The only light you've got now is the light shining from the other side in. And even that's relatively faint.
I've just had a very evil thought that we could like set a fire.
And
we are making enemies tonight.
I don't know if that's wise, but that's just something that came into my head and I had to say it out loud. So it exists.
I mean, how would you start a fire?
If there's electronics, like set sparks, there's paper targets. I mean, Xena might have a lighter on her if that's something that would be allowed.
I mean, you can look if you really want to make a small fire in the vain hope that this tiny fire might just dissuade any vampires from coming near you. You can certainly do it. It'll every move you make now is going to make it even more obvious that you've been around.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a thought that, like, I think Xena's scrambling through their brain trying to figure out like what works against vampires. Fire, we could do fire. Wait, no, that would show that we're here.
So
I think that
the
that
umbrellas
kind of passes away.
The umbrellas that you now have, Frobisher noticed obviously last time that they were plastic umbrellas at the top, which was just because they're normal umbrellas. Now that he's learnt that vampires don't like wood, they're now wooden topped. So at a pinch, you could use this as a stake. I don't know if either of you are strong enough to do that, but
yeah,
this seems
have
very
options.
last resort.
yeah.
Also,
One
if you
dot in
activate them
strength, no
chimerical,
dot in health.
like if you look, you're carrying chimerical swords. Maybe the chimera can like turn it into a blade and cut their head off. Maybe. ...
Okay,
Mark,
all right.
Mark profit.
Exactly.
So I think personally, I think we're not hiding that we've been here, because even if we like don't leave everything untouched, the bars have still been broken apart, which is
Yes.
So this is what I'm gonna do.
Go on.
I'm gonna
Enlighten
start-
me, and I will.
Just like yes.
And I will get my trap sheet out.
Okay. I need 2 Skycraft abilities if they will even work for me, because this could go badly. The first thing I'm doing is I'm going to. I need a bunk for this. I think I'm going to smash the jack that I just made. That feels Skycrafty. Break some electronics. That checks out. As I'm explaining my plan to Xena, it's like, all right, here's what we're going to do: is I smash this thing. I am going to create a fan using one of the targets and cast Howling Gale on it. It turns the object into a fan, and when it tries to move to approach us, has a movement speed halved, so that we can run away when this inevitably goes wrong. Because it will.
Yeah, the changeling may call forth a powerful wind, using it to speed the movement of herself or her allies, to confound her enemies, or simply to blow as she desires. The realm selected determines who the wind aids, often when it blows. If used to target a person, the changeling may place a powerful wind at their back, doubling their movement speed by half for every 2 successes rolled, by setting the wind against them. Oh, okay, well that's interesting. Oh, how much of a rules lawyer do I really want to be? Because here's the thing. Technically speaking, if you used prop to imbue the target, the paper target can only be affected by it. You would have to use... Now, I am willing to say that vampires come under Fae and not Actor. Because they do have magical quotation mark properties. So if a vampire does appear, you can cast Howling Gale against them to try and push them back.
All right, that checks out.
I then need to work out is what is stronger, Howling Gale or Celerity?
Who would win, Batman or Superman?
Exactly. It's like, I can go faster than you can blink. I can create a wind that'll half your movement speed. What's half the speed of light?
I guess the part I was looking at was... Oh no, I've lost it.
Yeah, Howling Gale is one of those that has like a massive like wall of text afterwards.
Yeah, I hate that so long. I think I was looking
at I am wrong. I am wrong. You can slap me. Alternatively, they may make an object or person the source of the powerful wind that roars out in all directions, making it difficult for others to approach the one so enchanted.
This will
teach all who approach.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay.
This will be bad for us, if we want to get close as well. But essentially, as long as the object is between us and the vampire, if we're like, this is going bad, it turns on and then dip.
So you're gonna bunk by smashing the thingy apart, the jack that you created. So Xena just watches as you like take that hunk of like metal and wood that you've like duct taped together and smashes it on their knee. That'll lower the difficulty to 7. You can drop them down by 1. You can, of course, elect to take nightmare dice if you would like to. That will lower the difficulty even further.
Let's not do that just yet. Haven't hit that point yet.
I'm not that desperate yet. Ask me for my next art. How desperate I am.
When this roll fails is when we start going, all right, next time. All right, what do I roll for this again? Is this rolling straight up glamour or?
So what you roll is if you go to your art sheet. Excuse us while we talk mechanics. Click Howling Gale.
Aha! There we go.
Select Prop as the realm.
Perfection.
You're
we're
bunking,
not using nightmare.
so you can lower the difficulty to 7.
Perfect. And I think that is it.
That is it. Yes.
I believe in myself. 3 successes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you can half the movement speed of anyone trying to approach this paper target.
Yeah.
In this room. Bear in mind that will also affect you.
Yeah.
So do you want to get behind the target first?
Yes, that would be extremely good.
Okay. So yeah, you, Xena, Askara, and your penguin backpack get behind the paper target, and you activate. The aura. It bellows out. And you're sort of standing there, like behind this target, looking out down the firing range as the mirror keeps like going. It's like that thing in movies where like it's like beep 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 beep, like it's getting closer. You know something's coming, you just don't know what's coming. It's also very dark. And some vampires like shadows.
Oh no! No! We're gonna die!
Happy 2-episode season, everyone.
Yeah, happy TPK. It's fine. Out of all the ones you could have pulled, this is probably the worst. I'm not gonna lie.
So bad.
So I will catch Lito up very quickly. Waking up, like something wakes you up, like instinctively wakes you up during the day. This is not normal to be woken up in the day. You notice the mirror is starting to shine very brightly. And just obviously last episode, unfortunately for you, changelings, Lito figured out how to activate the mirror. And also knows exactly where you were. So you can now see that this other mirror is now like 10 meters away down the hall. As you walk down that corridor and turn, I'm assuming you're using your wonderful shadow ability to remain basically invisible. Yeah. You walk into the shadows. It's Valerian's firing range. It has no lights. They're not turned on. No one bothered to go to the light switch to turn it on. So the only light in here is from the other side of the grates, which means it's very difficult to see. You do, however, bizarrely, feel a wall of wind hit you as soon as you walk into that room. And you can see 3 figures, the other side of the firing range, trying to hide behind a paper target. And that the mirror is essentially telling you that the mirror is literally like there. It's right there. All you have to do is grab it.
Okay, so there's a wind pressing.
Mm-hmm. You can still move forward, but it's going to slow you down as you try to move forward.
That's fine. She's taking her time anyway. She doesn't want to get too close until she knows what this is. I think she's gonna skirt the edge of the room and just maintain eye contact with the three figures and just try and work out who this is and what they're trying to do.
Awesome. Yeah, look, Zelda, Xena, you don't see anything arrive. Zelda, your mirror is going mental.
Okay.
The problem is, unlike Leto, because Leto has attuned to it, Leto can work out the exact location. You can't. You know it's getting closer, but you don't know where in the room it is.
Okay.
But it is creeping towards you.
That's several kinds of bad. Okay. And this person's invisible.
Yeah, you cannot
Zelda's
see
not
them.
picked up on Zelda has not picked up on this. All they know is this person is somewhere close by, potentially even here already, and I just don't know where. Okay. First thing, I'm gonna say to Xena. Xena, we may have made a lapse in judgment. Do you have any kind of skill right now that like explosives, shockwaves, anything? If not, I don't think we're getting the mirror today.
I can give someone a nickname. I can make a deal.
I look at Xena!
I can go in people's dreams!
This is not helpful right now!
Okay!
Alright, fuck. This has to be a person. No! Zelda would not know this is a person. Zelda's thought process. Zelda's stupid. Zelda's not thinking in terms of people. She thinks in terms of machines and gadgets and shit like that. I want to cast electric gremlins. It basically messes with any electronics around me. If I am trying to disable traps, that is Zelda's logic here. I just want to cause sparks, make noise, things of that nature to survive.
Okay. Do electric gremlins use prop?
They use. Hold on, let me double check this.
You're trying to affect devices, so it'll be prop.
I'm trying to affect devices, specifically devices. Yes, I have a point in scene as well to make it affect the whole room.
Yeah, that's fine. So that'll up the difficulty by 1. So this will be 9.
Oh boy, this is rough.
You can take on nightmare dice to lower the difficulty down.
I think I'm gonna have to. Oh boy. Alright then. Prop. I'll shift the nightmare down.
The good news is you only need 1 success this to work.
Yeah.
To affect it right now, just this scene, you need 1.
That is all I need. Okay. So it's gone from 9 down to 8 from the nightmare die, as long as I don't screw up, down to 7 from prop. As prop is my realm. This is my thing. I'm good at this. Bad at people.
How are people good with objects? Go on. 3 successes. How much glamour have you got? 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is... Oh. First of all, Valeria's going to hate you. Everything in this room for the next 5 days just does not work. All the electronics in this room just no matter how many times you flick the light switch, the lights just spark. As Xena and Zelda, you can see these little tiny, literal tech gremlins like crawling around the electronics and chewing through cables and just fucking shit up.
I need you to I need to understand how Zelda casts this is that she takes out her phone and says, I've got a very active virus to do this. And then instead of sending a computer virus, it's these gremlins that just kind of go everywhere. Like a living computer virus, I guess. And once they're out, you cannot see them again. You cannot stop them. They're just there.
Yeah, it takes 5 days, they lurk around and cause chaos. Unfortunately, it doesn't create enough light to reveal anything. There's brief sparks as like the lights go, but because you don't know where to look, you can't actively see what is going on. At this point, it's been long enough that Leto, if you want, can be literally right behind you. You can work out that Zelda is the one holding the mirror, or has the mirror on them, on their person.
I think in the time it's taken her to kind of like stalk her way around to get closer to them, she's going to use Scry the Soul to work out exactly what is breaking in.
Awesome. That's just rouse for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. You rouse.
So
these are gone.
It says make an intelligence and auspex versus composure and subterfuge.
Welcome to combining systems that don't have skills that match.
I mean,
go do your intelligence plus auspex.
Okay.
We'll see how many you've got. See, blue is special. Blue has real dice. Blue plays enough vampire that they can play with actual dice and know what they mean.
Would never be me.
The rest of us have to use digital dice that watch you make mistakes.
Okay, there's 1, 2, 6 successes.
Okay, I am going to be a dick here and home rule that there is no way any of you two could beat an actual 6 success roll, because it would push the difficulty to beyond 10, which you just cannot hit. And even with bunks, well, even with nightmare dice, at best you could make it a 9. If Leto had scored like 1 or 2, I'd have like come up with a contest. But yeah, with 6, there's politely no way you're going to be able to get around that.
So I get the emotional state of the subject.
So how are you two? How are you two feeling?
Very scared.
Oh. The worst part. Zelda's feeling terrified, but also excited. Like a part of her is there, like, "Ooh, I wonder what we're gonna bump into," because logically she knows this is going to be a vampire and this is going to be super bad. But a part of her is still thinking, "I wonder if it's like a trap. I wonder if it's a machine. I wonder what made it." This is going to change very quickly the second that any of us realize what's going on.
Yeah, the third person, Askra, is just feeling scared. Like
and
deep-rooted fear.
Zelda's the one with the mirror, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Zelda and Leto are actually more alike than you think.
And then it also lets me know the resonance of their blood, but I'm not going to expect you to
glamour
work that out.
It's glamour blood. It's
just glamour.
Yeah, it's just glamour blood. I think that's what helps you work out that these are changelings. It's like, oh, that's potent shit.
Yeah. I mean, it also lets me know if they're supernatural beings and what kind. Whether their subject is currently under the influence of magic.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, it also says a critical win allows discovery of something unexpected, but I'm not sure if this counts as a critical win.
No, I don't know. I'll tell you what. No, I'll give you 1 critical win, unexpected thing. that backpack is not just a backpack. It's got a computer in it.
Okay.
It's a computerized artificial intelligence backpack. Links to their
Interesting.
phones.
Cool.
This is so bad.
You're going to lose the penguin robot. That's what's going to happen.
It's-
Okay, in which case, right, so she's taken her time, she's stalked around the edge, she's got to near where they are. She's not going to block their exit, but she has managed to work out that they're changelings, and she's worked out which one of them has a mirror. I think she's going to be behind them, but like I said, not blocking the exit. And from the shadows, you're just going to hear someone going, "Oh, little milklings, you are very lost."
Oh. I feel like I'm supposed to make fun of this word, but I can't because it said it's something bad about that. But hello, greetings. I see that you're here, that you are with us. If you could still sense my emotions, you can sense that Zelda's losing her calm very, very rapidly. I take it you're the one who has the other trinket, aren't you?
And which trinket are we referring to?
Well, if we're in this situation, I think you know what we're talking about already. And we know what you're talking about.
It's a nice assumption to make.
True, very unscientific, I know. Not a big fan of assumptions, but unfortunately, sometimes have to be made to stay alive in dire circumstances.
Is that what this is?
Do you want it to be? And just the gale coming from the object is kind of building up, which is unfortunate. Zelda's trying to be scary, and she literally can't because you could read her mind. And it's like deeply unfortunate. She has points of intimidation and everything. Mom's like, logically, it doesn't work if you can read the person's mind.
I mean, she can't read her mind. She's just going off vibes, essentially. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the ultimate question is, why have you broken in?
To be fair, this place was abandoned initially, and we were following the trail to try and figure out and find wherever the rest of these objects were.
Why?
Seems it was less abandoned than I thought.
Why do you want them?
Personally, for research, they're fascinating, and I want to know everything I can about them.
Well,
Which
then,
is true.
why haven't you looked into the one you already have?
And destroy my only sample? Terrible, terrible practice.
You have to destroy it?
I prefer not to, but accidents happen.
It'd be a shame if an accident happened now.
Truly, it would be the worst. I look in the direction of Xena. I don't know which direction Leto is coming from. So I don't know if my face can be seen. So, like, Zelda's doing a thing where, like, when talking every direction, like, you know, cool, pretty, like, collected, looks towards Xena with the "help me" expression. I have only one more trick up my
What I will
sleeve.
say, both of you need to give me one more willpower roll, because you are now very close to a vampire, and that has consequences.
Makes sense. I think, regardless of how this goes, this is the point where I would be trying to dip. But I want to see if there's anything Xena wants to do. Difficulty is what again? 7, 8?
7. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Not a success.
All right. I have
Well,
one thing I want to do.
congratulations,
Otherwise,
you you both were able to just about hold on, because if you'd have failed, it would have been 3 banality. And I will say this, for every couple of minutes you linger now, you're gonna have to keep doing that.
That makes sense. I don't want to linger here anymore.
If Leto backs off a bit, then the penalty number goes down. But considering that she's literally behind you, yeah, you could rack up a lot of banality this way if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So Xena, welcome to our new world.
Yes. I think Xena says, listen, we fucked up real bad. We shouldn't be here. We got curious. Our treasure hunting noses got the better of us. We can fuck right off now and not bother you anymore. Hands up, are bad.
Well, that's interesting. Now, I could help you.
With all respect, why?
Why not?
It's rare someone acts out of curiosity. Are you a fellow scientist by any chance?
Of a sort.
Me as a player does not like that answer. Zelda thinks it's the right. Zelda thinks it's great, which is terrible. What do you have in mind?
There's another one, you know.
I figured that much. There's several from what I can tell.
Yes. But there's another one nearby.
And you wish to help us acquire it?
Not necessarily.
So what do you have in mind? And what is it that you want in return, since this must be a two-sided exchange?
Well, I can give you information.
And in return?
And in return, we can have a little chat.
This seems like a fair deal, though unfortunately, the atmosphere is rather stuffy in here. If we could, personal space. I'm sure you understand.
Well, we can make it less stuffy if your friends leave.
Oh!
Just oh.
I look at Xena. Zelda looks too curious. She looks too curious about the direction this is going to go. I need you to understand, me as a player, that knowing this is a terrible, terrible plan. But this is, in fact, Zelda's thinking that, okay. Zelda's no emotions are being read. Zelda's just here like, yeah, all right. We seem somewhat magical and weird, but this person's clearly strong as well. We can just have a two-way peaceful exchange. No one has to get hurt. Don't know what you're doing at it, because
just trying to think if I can do anything interesting. Just having a look at my powers. It's fine.
While you're power looking, Frobisher is not happy. That backpack's eyes are now going like one's flashing blue, one's flashing red. As it's trying to imitate a siren to kind of alert that something has gone wrong here. You do also remember, Zelda and Xena, that Frobisher does have a direct link to your handler. All of this is being transmitted. So you may have to deal with the consequence of that when you get home.
Yeah.
Listen, if we get home, this is important. If we get home, a single misstep and this is gonna go bad.
I mean, Altair was talking about tasting what glamour blood tastes like, so.
Oh my God.
Sure was.
Why are you writing this?
If the only way we can kind of get out of this is if Zelda's left alone with this vampire, I would like to attempt to make a deal with the mysterious voice. That if you promise to not hurt Zelda, we can leave you two alone for a short while.
I promise.
May I cast Done Deal?
Yeah, you can cast Done Deal against Leto.
Cool. And we
Clutch.
said Fae relates to vampires.
I'll let you take Actor because you're slightly stronger in it.
Cool.
Since vampires don't actually fall into any of them. Because
Yeah.
no one figured this would be a thing.
What?
It's a world of darkness. Why did they not realize?
Listen,
Okay.
when they make Changeling V5, it will be brilliant. But until then, we are stuck with this kit bash.
Okay. I'm going to add one nightmare die because
I think, yeah, if there's any time to add that now, yeah.
one success. I needed that.
My heart.
Is it the last for the scene if I remember correctly? With one success.
Yeah, so for this scene, as long as Leto keeps their word for this scene, then Leto does not get affected by Done Deal. If Leto breaks the deal, Leto will have to take a penalty for the next full day. In vampire, like I can't convert it straight up, so in vampiric terms,
We'll
I'm just
work it
gonna
out.
up the difficulty of all of I'll subtract dice from you from rolls. If you become an Oathbreaker.
Makes sense.
Dope. Terrifying dope.
I have this is Leto. I have to come up with the what ifs. If there is one person in our vampire group who will test the what ifs, this is the one. But yes, you say that. You kind of like hold your hand out to like try and shake Leto's. I don't know if Leto wants to actually reach out and grab it.
I mean, I'm not sure how read up on changeling law she is, as to whether she knows you have to shake for it to work, or whether it's just a word bind.
It's a word bind. You've already agreed to this. This is just ceremonial.
Okay.
Okay.
In which case, she'll just leave him hanging.
I think there'll be a pause for like 10 seconds, then kind of sensing that the deal has been set. Xena will kind of gather up Actra and sort of shuffle backwards.
Yeah,
awkwardly.
You shuffle backwards. You can hear Grobusher on your phone going, "No, turn me around. I need to get a picture. Get a picture of them. We need to know who they are. Stop moving me away. I need to get closer."
I think Zelda will turn around very briefly, not wanting to leave her back exposed to an unknown vampire, and so like there'll probably be a very blurry like motion blur picture of
it's essentially you give Trebuchet what he wants, but it's such a jackass blurry photo that that you could put it on the internet. Yeah, you could put it on the internet and say that this is a conspiracy theory. Like there'll be essays about that little light in the one tiny corner. It's like that pixel's a little bit lighter than the others, therefore there must be something there. Effectively, it's a useless photo. Okay, you've all gone to the other side of the railings. Zelda, love that for you. Another willpower check.
This is a great time. Okay.
Also, we might need to start discussing character sheets for another character. So remember we brought in the other changeling in the first episode? How would you like to play a pixie?
Difficulty is 7. Let's go. Okay, all right, I'm surviving.
That's fine. You only need one success to avoid banality. Okay, it's just Leto and Zelda now.
Okay. Leto is going to make it so that she's in front of Zelda in some way. So still behind the paper.
Yeah.
But in front of Zelda. She's going to drop Unseen Passage and looking at Zelda just be like, hello.
Greetings. How long does my little fan last for anyway? I mean, if I can drop it early, I will.
You can drop it early. Yeah, you can drop it early.
I drop it early because formality, which is terrible, but I have another escape route if things go bad, so it's okay. As this wind that was coming from this object and Zelda just dies down, and Zelda's like, greetings. So Zelda, from your view, she has dark skin and is wearing like a big, like heavy coat, and there's like a bunch of like sci-fi looking badges all over this coat and stuff. And her hair is done up in like a ponytail. She is very tall, and she says her greetings.
Leto is about 5'6". She's got dirty blonde hair. It's very messy. It's down at the moment. She's wearing a leather jacket that is clearly not hers. It's massive, really oversized for her. She's got like a plain black t-shirt on. She's very pale. She's got really dark circles around her eyes. Like she looks perpetually like she hasn't slept properly. But even though she looks like she should look tired because of the bruises around her eyes look really awake and really manic.
That's great.
She is just grinning at you with like this Cheshire grin.
Oh, she's so terrifying. Mazella's like, yeah, these are my people, which is the worst.
So?
Right. Information exchange and this other mirror of yours. Terribly sorry about the mess. Truly unfortunate.
Very rude.
It is. Unfortunately, you get messy when you're trying to do experiments. I should think about ethics more, honestly.
I don't think it's necessarily an ethics issue, but it's polite to ask before you go into someone's house.
I'll be sure to drop the correct greetings and ask for an invitation next time.
Next time.
Next time.
Well, the information is that, well, how good are you at using this mirror?
There's no reason to hide shit at this point. It still holds secrets from me, but I can see each other mirror and their approximate direction.
Oh,
It gets a bit
excellent.
scrambled when I get too close to other mirrors, though.
Oh, that's good. So you can see the other mirror.
I can see where it is and how far it is, but there's nothing specific.
So why did you choose this one?
Honestly, convenience. It is close by, and we have our own. Targets is the wrong word, but we had to go on a bit of a shopping trip.
Shopping trip?
It's a whole thing. Don't worry too much about it. The important thing is that it was convenient to go between. It was convenient to go to this location from our previous one.
I must stir the pot. Leto, you live there. You recognize like the smell almost. Zelda's been to the library.
Oh no!
Recently.
I hate this! I hate this!
Add that to your Squire the Soul information.
Awesome, thanks.
Oh! Wretched! Zelda, please get out of here! Girl, you're killing me!
Well, I think circumstances have changed somewhat, and now the convenience is elsewhere. And my advice is that you go there. But I am curious about your little shopping trip.
I can tell you all about it, but it's honestly not as exciting as you believe. The important thing was getting a rough layout of the underground. I'm genuinely surprised that there are actually people down here. That was actually not something I expected. I'm impressed. It's a nice setup you've got going on. I should do something similar.
I'll pass on your compliments.
Well, for now, as for the other mirrors, you are suggesting one that is a different mirror that's nearby.
Yes.
Would you be able to point it out? I just kind of turn on the mirror so its little radar thing goes off, just so I know which one to use.
So, the interesting thing here is for Leto is that Zelda wasn't lying. They can see all 6 mirrors. However, mirrors 5 and 6, which are in the dreaming, appear differently to the other 2. But it does clearly show the dreaming. Unfortunately, Zelda, you are showing this. I want to double. You are showing this to Leto.
Zelda thinks that Zelda's not good at people. Zelda thinks that Leto knows how this mirror works better than she does.
Leto, you now know where their freehold is. It is in Camden Market, just around the corner from the Acropolis main entrance.
Man, Zelda's gonna leave, and like a full good 30 minutes after, it's gonna be like, ah.
Shouldn't have done that.
Okay. She's going to place her hand on the handle of the mirror that Zelda is holding out to show, and she's going to get way too close to Zelda, like really in her personal space, and like point to which one she's referring to, which is the one
Warehouse mirror.
Yeah, the warehouse mirror. And so she's just gonna like point it out to her on the mirror's screen, I guess.
Yeah.
And just be like, I think this one will be of particular interest to you.
Is there anything to watch out for in that location?
So many things.
Fascinating. Please tell me.
Oh, but that would be spoiling it.
I would, but you did say you'd share information.
I am. This is the one you should look for. It's currently on this plane of existence, and there's only one person holding on to it.
I see. Unfortunate. The location, I suppose, is known to me, but knowing that there's theoretically one guardian is certainly some slightly more helpful. Thank you for that bit.
Would you like to know more?
Would you share?
Well, what would you like to know?
Zelda's kicking herself for not having Xena nearby. Like, oh man, Xena knows. Xena can talk to people. We clearly know how to operate these mirrors, and there's clearly others who have them. How common is this knowledge? It didn't seem that this one is well taken care of. And I would hate to have more uninvited guests on my end from activating this.
Well, I don't know about your side of things particularly, but I know that the person who holds this particular one does know about them and knows that there are 6.
That's inconvenient, so they'll be difficult to deal with. I can plan around that eventually.
What kind of plan?
I'll figure it out when I get there. And just this excited, wild look in Zelda's eyes. It's probably explosive. Whatever she's thinking cannot be safe.
I think whilst we're having this conversation, Lito's going to be looking directly at Zelda, and she's going to start Forgetful Mind.
Don't like that! Don't like that!
Okay. Okay. What's the resistance roll against Forgetful Mind?
Let's work it out. Intelligence and resolve for VTM.
All right. So
I'll do intelligence plus enigma.
Alrighty then.
We'll use vamp rules and say it's difficulty 7.
Oh, cool.
So it literally will be a
Good.
straight up 7v7.
Intelligence 5, enigma's 2, difficulty 7. Alrighty then. This could go anyway. 2 successes.
Okay, so 2 successes for Zelda.
Why are the dice menacing? Why did they say?
They spell doom, is what they spell.
That is 4 successes.
Okay.
Oh.
So Lito can wipe Zelda's memory.
Zelda hates that.
So it's not
wipe.
mechanically, it's not wiping per se. It is rewriting. So it is
Okay.
painting over the memories that you had before. It is done through conversation, and it is done in a way where she is maintaining eye contact with you. She's still grinning at you and conversing nicely about these things with you. But while she is having this conversation and having the words that she has said up until now, whilst this is happening, there is actually a rewriting happening in your mind. And basically what happens is that you hold on to the information about where this new mirror is. You hold on to the information about your inquisitiveness in regards to the mirrors, what you've already learned about the mirrors and how they work, and that you're still looking for them. However, what you forget is that you have been to this location. You forget that this is here. You forget that you had one. And basically she's just writing over the fact that you had one in your possession at all. And that you came into this layer.
Okay.
And while she is doing this and having this conversation with you, she is going to take the mirror that she is holding, because she was holding it the entire time she was having this conversation with you, and she's going to take it and pocket it. So that by the time our conversation ends, it coincides with you forgetting you had one.
Amazing. Terrible. Worst part is the only trick that Zelda could do to stop this, she can't do because she does not remember this conversation.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Boy.
That's so cool.
It is
Everyone's
cool.
gonna be so mad.
It is cool. Another funny thing is, this was not how it was supposed to go. Leto was dangerous. Leto was dangerous with one mirror. Now she's dual wielding. Now she can give two people two commands at the same time.
Bad choices were made.
It's fine. It is fine. I love it. Yeah, you finish that conversation. Yeah, Zelda, what mirror?
I think she'll finish it by going,
Yeah.
It was lovely to have you visiting. Bye now.
Zelda smiles. There's still a lot of that fear, but she's calmed down a bit and having no idea what has just happened. I'm be like, until next time. And walks out. She wouldn't think to use backward glance to figure out what happened. She wouldn't think to do it. And so I get out of there.
Awesome. I was just like, I forgot you have fucking time manipulation, so you could go back and watch the conversation happen, but you can't remember to do it.
No problem.
Well,
You have to be there to do it.
Oh,
and
dang.
there's no way.
Yeah.
Right?
Because like,
Yeah.
because
Backwards
Xena and
glance.
Axra will be like, "What happened?" and you'll be like, "What happened where?"
Exactly.
But then if
What do you mean?
you've
Yeah.
already left, then and it wouldn't work if you went back again. Then yeah.
It
Sorry.
will work if I go back again. It has a
Oh, okay.
really long time
Yeah,
span.
so mechanically, as long as you're there, and you get at least, so one success is up to an hour, two successes up to a day, three successes up to a week. You could go back and re-glance. Essentially, backwards glance is the changing equivalent of vampire clairvoyance. In that you can peek back into what's happened over time, but you'd have to remember to do it, which Zelda can't remember. And by the time you've remembered, it may be too late, and also the vampires will remember this. And that
have more
great
defenses.
Yeah, those grates might suddenly become a little bit more nasty next time. We're not also going to go over the consequences of the fact that you may have just contravened the deal that Valerian and the High Chancellor had, because this is this could be classed as direct aggression against vampires. Not that you can remember any of that.
Nothing happened.
Fine. You go back into the network. See Xena there.
I see
Are you
Xena.
going to I imagine Zelda's immediate response is just get out of the tunnel.
Definitely get out of the tunnel. While we are getting out of the tunnel, Zelda will probably attempt to relay the conversation that we had, which will have a billion gaps, which is that's a problem.
Yeah,
Would I be able to figure out anything of what may have happened from the incomplete information that I have, or
from the incomplete, probably not. You know, the only thing Leto has left you, and it's in typical Leto fashion, so fucking clever, is the location of the third mirror, and that is it. And I know what's at the third mirror. I know what you're trying to do. I fucking tip my hat off to you because that's solving two problems. This is the problem with Leto. She'll help you, but you don't realize that you're solving one of her problems while doing it. Yes, you kind of piece like it. I don't think it clicks to any of you until you get back to the freehold, when you're suddenly back with glamour again, that it's like, oh. Like, I think there's a casual point where Xena mentions the mirror, and Zelda has the what mirror, and does the whole patting of the body to like realize that they don't have a mirror anymore. But Zelda's like, I never had a mirror. Which means the lovely bit of lore that Zelda was going to get, because the two mirrors were next to each other, is now completely gone, and Leto gets it instead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fantastic, because now that Leto's going to know, God knows what is going to happen. As these two mirrors get very close to each other, you are able to look out of them almost like glasses now. You can hold both up now and like kind of look around. Now that you've got two mirrors, everything is so much easier to see. When two of these mirrors are mixed, they gain a new ability. They gain, so as we ascertained before Leto arrived, these mirrors that disguise themselves take on vampiric qualities, therefore thinking they're vampiric artifacts, therefore no one would think the changelings ever want them. This allows you, when two are together and you hold them like glasses, you can use these as a kind of pseudo clairvoyance in the area that you're in.
Okay.
You can ask a question, and if it's within the time frame, you will get an answer. The other thing that you notice, now you've got two of them up, you look towards what you think is the shard, and above it is a huge dot. Bigger than any of the mirror dots that you've seen so far. But that's for Leto to think about.
Of course.
And with that, it's the end of our session.
I think the last thing Leto does is she's going to try and work out a way of putting the break-in area back somehow.
Because you're staying. So the way they did it is they popped the bars out. So you could, in theory, just slide the bars back in, and it would just give the illusion that they got damaged by something, but they're still in place.
In which case, she'll put them back in, and then she'll make a note to talk to Marcus about reinforcing that area. But the reason she's putting them back is so that she doesn't let anyone know that anything happened.
Which is typical Leto. The coterie the coterie will wake up on Thursday and they'll be like, that was a nice nap. Anything happened? No, nothing. Because why would Leto tell anyone anything this was happened? Leto had no cards over Valerian at the end of the last episode because Valerian knew everything. Now Leto has something again. Just when you think you've won.
Thanks, guys.
He comes in with a steel chair. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you, Blue, for just coming out of thin air and being like, I can come cause chaos.
It was too tempting. I was watching and I was like, oh, they're actually breaking in. Oh, how could I not? I really want to go say hi.
So what I'm expecting is when Anna and Co catch up on the VOD, there's going to be a huge string of what the fucks in chat.
Oh no.
We may have to bring Leto back for something in the future. Because
we're friends now.
Yeah.
We're besties, of course.
We're best friends.
Exactly.
The worst part is a part of Zelda, like, the second Zelda realizes, oh, my memory's been messed with, I have no idea what happened, and I have no idea what I told this person. Like, she's mad, but she's also like, oh, I have to meet her again, and this time this is so much fun.
I have to win the second interaction.
That's the thing. That's what I said. In my mind, Leto and Zelda are actually closer than you think. In kind of like mentality, which is kind of very dangerous. So next episode, you are probably going to go hunt the third mirror, which means thank you, Blue. Thank you. Thank you for taking my episode plans and turning them on their head by inverting the order they're happening in. Hey, look, you get more time to think about Dom's mother now, I guess.
Yay.
That'll be more arguing. So we are back with Vampire next Thursday, where there will be no consequences to this at all. Because, hey, this is Leto. There's no such thing as consequences. And we'll be back here next Saturday with Changeling, where there definitely will be consequences. Especially because while Zelda's mind has been wiped, Xena, Actress, and the lovely robot haven't had their memories wiped. And someone is going to be very pissed when they find out that the mirror has been lost. Someone is due for a very long chewing out.
Oh man, Zelda's even like, oh, don't you trust me, boss?
She already thought you were garbage. Now you've just literally given her more excuses to think about it. Anyway, we'll be back then. Until then, look after yourselves. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait for the future. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.